I'm back. Uh, you know what? If someone would have told me about my life like 5 years, 10 years earlier, I don't know, 15 years earlier, maybe I would have been like, no, 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 no. That is. But I will say this is was the first time has ever been. I've ever had the police on me. Uh, yeah, yeah. This is the first time. I'm I've been doctorated, I guess now. I don't know. Uh, I was having to play some more Thunder because this is insanity. I would just recommend nobody get a divorce or nobody get married because this shit's stupid. This is dumb. This is dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb. Dumb, dumb, dumb. What a waste of time. The waste of their time. The waste of my time. It's just dumb. Oh, it's just. Mm, mm, mm. And now because it's like been like the third time they've come, I've literally what do I say? I don't even know what to say anymore. What do I say? I'm just gonna fix up with Thunder and just say, you know what? Whatever. Whatever. Oh God bless America. This, this, it's terrible. So Jesus Christ. Man. Oh, hmm. Yeah. Mm. At some point, you just gotta go. Are you serious? You serious? Come on. I almost listen to music. And I don't want to play War Thunder because this is some bullshit. Okay. Wow. Oh my god. Let let me have a record now? Like, like how does that even work? Man, I I feel like I'm in like shock. Like, Oh my god. Yeah. I'm... What got me into War Thunder? My son, he loved War Thunder a long time. And I just saw him play tanks. And, so I was looking for I wanted a game to play. But then one day he's like, I play tanks. And then I played tanks and I'm terrible at tanks. But I didn't realize that War Thunder had planes. And then I started playing like the prop planes. I'm like, oh, well, I really like this. And then it was like an instant addiction. Instant. And because I was like, I like this, but I gotta play better. So then I went over to Microsoft Simulator to rebuild, because I took flight lessons when I was a young adult. It's been a while, So yeah, I relearn how to ride a bike. So I went back over there, relearned to ride the bike, then came back and then started practicing. But yeah, that's what happened. I think gaming is incredibly important to your brain neuroplasticity because because you have to constantly learn. It helps, with the reduction of your dementia because as long as you are making more neurons, you're basically helping keeping your brain young. So it's just kind of makes, I feel like gaming should almost be a mandatory in a sense. I mean, especially in nursing homes of that nature, like to really do games like this because it would help keep them younger. It help reduce things like my grandma. She died of Alzheimer's and things, and it's just important for your cognitive because you're naturally gonna decline as you get older, and that's why you should game when you're older. And it may seem silly, but what you're doing is you're helping keeping your brain young, and that's the most important part. Is that you stay young. A younger brain knows what to do. An older brain is not, let's say, as efficient as you'd want it to be, right? So you keep it healthy by doing brain practices, like learning new things, like gaming. This is doing something brand new where you have to practice and make new neural connections, which again, this is all good for you and reducing your cognitive decline, which is natural when you age. Because when you just stop learning, you just do the same thing all the time, you will decline. You can look that up, Google Scholar, cognitive decline as you age, and there's so many studies on that. That'd be easy to find. So, gaming specifically, because we have, your brain has to use a lot of different parts. Helps your brain keep the more it learns, the more connections it makes. Those more connections are what helps keep it working the way it's supposed to. So, nah, Raspberry, you would not have. You just gotta practice. I just practice all the time. But I think people have a misconception about gaming, like that it's you're a complete waste of time. But you're not. You're really not, because your brain has, in order to keep your brain healthy, you have to exercise it like your body. You can take all the pills you want, but if you're not exercising it by learning and trying new things as you age, like me, because I'm an old lady, I'll be 50 next year, you know, that decline starts going down. Well, I don't want that. This keeps my brain younger and healthier, you know, and so they can do and keep me healthier. Well, I mean, that's my theory, but that's where I'm going with that. So to discourage gaming, when there's so many things that you learn about maps, history, mechanics. Why would you not want your child to game? That's my opinion. I understand that there's bad people in the world, but there's bad people everywhere. I mean, and that's why you're supposed to talk to your children about that and have communications just like you did in the 80s, you know. Don't take candy from strangers. Well, you're just having a more modified version now. That's all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what they told us in the 80s, you know. Don't go to a van. Don't take candy. You know. Well, now it's don't give your address to strangers on the internet. Make sure, you know, if anything's unusual, you talk to me. You know, we just kind of modify something that, you know, we were taught as kids anyway. Remember the van? Don't, no candy from vans, especially. Because, you know, in every van you saw, you're like you're gonna be the next Adam. Oh, my dad my dad was a policeman, so he did put that fear in me, boy, to make sure to stay close. Like, but I understand that, you know, it you know, the people it's a concern when you're out and about. I just think that maybe we just need to modify that same message to a more updated message, which is, you know, what the rules now. You know, you're not taking candy from strangers. We're not giving addresses to strangers. That sort of thing. I don't think that should be that hard, right? If you feel uncomfortable, you know, you tell an adult. If your parents, you don't feel comfortable with your parents, then you tell somebody at school, and you keep telling until somebody listens to you. You know what I'm saying? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But for the amount that you can teach especially with autistic children, learning how to socialize, because some games really require you to socialize in order for you to level up. It gives motivation to socialize. It's mutual interests. We're both sharing the same interests. I'm more likely to talk to you because you like planes too. It makes a big difference. Especially, I think, with autism and ADHD, because the stimulation, especially with ADHD, that it gives can really provide a lot of calming after a hard day at school. And I I encourage my son to game after school because I want him to get it, get that out of him, and I think gaming can virtually do that for you, especially if you are neurodivergent, you know. And then you get that reward, that stimulation and dopamine, which is needed. I feel like the health benefits way more than any negative benefits. There's bad people everywhere. That's the reality, and there's always been bad people everywhere, even when I was a kid. And that's the message we have to communicate to our children. Be aware of who you're speaking to, and if you feel uncomfortable, trust your gut, and then you tell your parent or who you trust and go from there. But we're not letting children do that. Trust your gut. We're not believing them when they do trust their gut. And that's a shame. And unfortunately, parents just don't pay attention. They just don't care enough to. Not even to know what their kid likes or dislikes. You know? I would much rather have my kids tell me what I'm doing wrong so I can fix it than them not talk to me at all as an autistic parent. And I mean that honestly. Playing War Thunder since June, I think. Yeah. Check your candy. Check your candy, because there's needles in your candy with your little plastic mask. Remember your plastic mask? I was Wonder Woman one year. I have a Wonder Woman outfit, but I'm not gonna wear it because I'm feeling kind of sad about myself. But yeah. I think we just I totally lost my train of thought when I read that part. That's fine. I'm going back to playing video games. I think we're just failing to communicate clearly to our children. And I think that's the most important thing. Is one thing about communicating, but it's another thing about communicating. Thank you. I'm working on not being sad, and I'll be better. And thank you for noticing. How'd you notice? Was it my eyes? What gave that away to you? As an autistic, I would really like to know. What told you I was feeling sad? But yeah, I think we forget that our children have important things to say, and we need to listen to them. And respect when they tell us that we're doing a terrible job, and try to fix it. You know, just like you give customer surveys to your clients, you do the same to your children. You ask them, how can I be better? What could I do to be a better parent? And I do that with my children. I'm like, if you were to tell me in so many words, can you tell me what I could do to be a better parent? Because I want to improve. And Mia, my adult daughter, she's very good at telling me. She's like, Mom, you should really work on your empathy. I'm not feeling like you're validating me enough. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna really try to work on that for you. I'm gonna do the best I can. It's not gonna be perfect, but she was like, thank you, and I appreciate that. And you know, this just simple words makes a big difference between two people. You know what I mean? I hear you. I'll try, and no, my autism is not an excuse for me not to try to do better and offering you the empathy that I know that you desire as my daughter. You know, I can try better, and then my nerdy person says, after we're done, did I do okay? Did I pass? Did I do it? Did I provide enough empathy? Yes, Mom. You did a good job. That's why I was Employee of the Month quite a few months. Is because I'm always asking how I'm doing. Isn't that funny? It's hilarious. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh. Oh, I appreciate that. You were listening. Very good. Yeah. Well, feeling confident and all that together. I just don't feel any of that. But I had found it today, and Wonder Woman has always been one of my favorites. I used to watch it when I was a kid, when Linda Carter was playing Wonder Woman, and I don't feel like Wonder Woman enough to wear it. You know what I mean? So I think that's probably part of it. I think that's more my unconscious. I don't feel like Wonder Woman. I don't feel Wonder Woman enough because I just don't feel like I'm succeeding enough where I feel like I should be. So it's like providing false information in my mind. Technically, I'm lying to you by saying I'm Wonder Woman because I'm not. Because if I was Wonder Woman, I wouldn't be in the situation. You know what I'm saying? I would have thought better, and I would have prepared better, and I did. And and I have a really hard time faking it just for other people to make it happy, and that's where I can be really unsufferable. I don't. You know what? I think I gave up on people saving me, to be honest with you. I no longer expect anyone to actually come through and be there for me, because I've had so many people just not be who say they were, or not follow through, or not keep their word. Even my own mother and father. So my uncle and my husband, unfortunately. So I don't ever, I get, even though and which was surprising is my desire to help people has not stopped. But do I trust people? I don't, because so many people have just decided that I had no value. I guess I thought, and so it's been hard. But even at the end of the day, I still want to help, because maybe if I help, maybe they'll be nicer to me, and it won't be so hard. You know what I mean? Maybe they'll hear me, or not. You know, maybe they'll listen to me finally. You know, and because nobody ever listened to me growing up. I was the kid they said, you know, I don't want to hear your opinion. I really don't care. And that's kind of always who I've been around. My parents really didn't care. My husbands didn't care. So I think if anything, it would be just nice if somebody just heard me and said, "Hey, I see you, Christina, and you may have a good idea or something." But that's, you know, That's been probably the hardest thing to really achieve here, I think. And I really thought that after building my website, that that especially the like Simon Baron Cohen, who I really admired because he was the reason why my life had changed so much. I had hoped that he would watch my or look at my website and tell me what he thought and would tell me where I went wrong, And when he emailed me and told me he didn't have time, I was so upset. And then my parents did their stuff, and then the rest of the stuff, and I just but I figured it was maybe I still had to learn more things and I just wasn't ready yet. That's what I thought, maybe. But I did. I learned how to stream. I learned how to make friends via virtually, and I think that's been very valuable. Oh, I'm glad. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you were here. Well, thank you. I appreciate you very, very, very much. Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your kindness. I appreciate it. But yeah. I keep thinking in the back of my head that hopefully, maybe I can change something. And mostly I would be nice if somebody just listened and heard me, I think. And then to have Mr. Cohen just say, well, I don't have time, I'm busy. And then even after I explained how much his study had changed my life and all that stuff, I was like, and I didn't even mind if he said everything I said was wrong. I just wanted him to, I don't know, see some value in myself. And it didn't work out. And then all these other things happened, and then... But my dumb ass, boy, I am stubborn as a motherfucker, and I just keep going. I'm like, I'm gonna keep trying. I'll keep trying. And because it's usually just one email or one person saying, well, thank you, really made me feel better. And then I'm like, oh, well, I'll keep doing it. It's just usually just one person that says something to me that says I made them feel better about themselves, that keeps me going. Not, you'd be surprised with a little bit of, when you have purpose like that, one person taking the time to email you saying thank you or whatever can make it everything worthwhile, because that one person's life was better, then that's makes me happy. And that's why I've been getting so upset with my husband, because I don't understand why he's being such a turd. But it is what it is. I believe in the universe. But I feel like, you know what? If you do right to others, then people will do right to you. But you can't do right for yourself. You have to do right without expecting something back in return. And I think that's hard for people. And maybe I did expect. I was hoping that I would hear more happier people. That's probably what I was hoping for, but then I know autistic people, and we just we just don't write just for no reason. And I figure you would write if you thought there was something I needed to hear. So I was okay with that. And that was what's cool about being autistic and talking about the autistic people is that I'm not insulted, and they're not insulted. We're not insulted by each other. And same with ADHD. We're just not insulted. It's like, you're cool, I'm cool. We're both cool. You know what I'm saying? The main part of the war we were kids. Did I leave? I don't know what happened. Hello, Bitwise. I did it. I did it. I did it. I wasn't the worst. How are you? Welcome. And as soon as I get tired, I'll go to bed. I'm just not tired yet. Anything exciting happened today? Anything at all that just stood out to you that was... Sweater weather. Those are like hard words to say together. Sweater weather here. Finally. Finally, and I don't know why that's not working. Just work. Oh. That sucks. What kind of work do you do? Do you like it? I worked at Citibank for a long time. A long time. I did cards, and so if you ever have questions about your credit cards, you just ask. I'll help you. Get, software developer. That's a cool job. They didn't really have that option when I was a kid. Um, yeah. But I did teach myself HTML when I was like 1999 from a book. Marian, is it Marian? I'm sorry, I have dyslexia. I really, this is a practice. Marian, hold on a second. Marian Eris. Did you get it right? Marian Eris. I think something's broken on my freaking War Thunder. What kind of software do you develop? Is that a lot of coding? Or is it already pre-programmed when you do it? Thank you. Oh, I'm proud of myself. That's awesome. Thank you. I taught myself HTML when there was still front page. Like when we still uploaded the whole shit. Business software. Wow. Interesting. I think that seems like that'd be hard work. That's a I think coding is difficult for me. It is. It's challenging because just because there's a lot that can be missed, even if you have to double check or whatever. I don't know if I like that job or not. From scratch? Wow. So you're doing all the coding and all that? My day, probably not the best, but I'm still alive, so I think that's good. I don't know. Well, when I first learned HTML, that's when we had to type. Remember, you had to do it in the text and the notepad, and then you would upload it to front page or whatever. And I didn't know I was dyslexic, so imagine how many mistakes that I make. And it just took a long time. And it's not that I didn't enjoy it; it just was the amount of time it took for me to do it. And the same now with coding. It's just that I make mistakes because I am not able to actually see them. No, my day's just been I'm going through a divorce and it's very stressful. And that's why I'm still awake this late, is because I'm just too wound up to go to bed, I think, at this point. That's alright. I'll be good. Yeah, front page. Remember, you had to do the whole thing. You type it all out in your code. Who's a MILF? I appreciate that. But remember, you typed it all out, and then on your notepad, and then you have to try to upload it, and literally you had your code by code by code by code, and then your little colons, one tiny mistake, and then you had to try to figure. Yeah. Yep. But it was fun. Oh, it was so much fun. And then you could have access to webcams because they were all over it. And there was address. It was just kind of Free Willy in the internet. It was fun. Wait, I just think what was funny is I went to Art Institute, and later on, a couple years later, and all these kids had taken high school classes for this stuff, and here I am, because I was a single mom at the time with my daughter, and they're like, "Where'd you learn?" I'm like, "From a book. From a book. That's how I learned, from a book." And it took a lot of time, but I was determined, and that. I just remember the looks of their face, from a book. Yes, from a book. That should have been an indication I was autistic. If anything, it was an indication. Was that? Yeah, that was a long. But it was. I think it was so much easier then too. It's so much harder, with WordPress. Ugh, I fucking hate it. Oh, it's terrible. There's so many more steps. But I can tell you though, if I had this when I was 16 years old, oh my god, this is all I probably would have been doing. And then I probably would have been a coder or something, to develop a game coder or something. Yeah, for sure. I probably would have went to college just for flight science, and then did to code so that I could really make flying super realistic, because that seems pretty nerdy. And if you have an opportunity and the time, please, I would love for you to follow my Twitch or my YouTube, so that maybe eventually I could earn some income. That'd be awesome. Mindscape Neuro is pretty much what I got going there. Oops. I should probably be a grown up and go to bed. I don't want to be a grown up and go to bed. I've been waking up like at 3 in the morning. This is terrible. I hate waking up that early in the morning. You're like, we are not even sleeping. Like, you sleep, but you're not even getting anything that's worth a shit. Because your brain won't shut the fuck up. Like, just, like, let me relax enough so I can sleep. Like normally, like I wake up and I'm tired, but boy, I wake up now. I'm like, I'm ready to go. I gotta get going. I gotta get my stuff together. Ugh, I hate that. And I don't think there's only so long you can go on and keep doing that shit. But it is what it is. And this is where I think, honestly, because I did mention, I did my whole genealogy all the way back. And I come from a long line of soldiers, and I like, that must be it. That's what I think it is that helps me survive, is that. Because this is some shit. Like, literally fucking, I feel like I'm in Vietnam. It's terrible all the time. And at this point, as much as I have experienced, just in a whole, just like, just take it all in. I'm like, God bless America. I'm good now. I think I've had enough. We could have some cool shit happen now. Maybe happy with that. But then what happens? My ass goes, you know what, Christina? If you had not experienced that, you would not have learned this, and then you wouldn't have done this, and then you wouldn't have been able to maybe help somebody. Because I did a thing. Because what happened was today. Let me stop my stupid thing. I was feeling so overwhelmed. Like, it was just overwhelmed. I was like, God, it's terrible. I hate feeling like that because I'm stuck. I'm just like literally like pacing around the house, thinking I'm just like, I feel like I'm losing it. That's what it feels like. But I'm not losing it. It's just chaos going on in my autistic brain, just because I just don't know what to do and I don't know where to go, and my synapse is all over the place, and then my one tool, I'm not gonna say my dumbass tool, is my most useful tool, which was is to get angry. But the only way it works is that you got to get angry about things that you're passionate about, like things that you really love, or things that you really want to help or care about. Because I think it has to do with that good energy. You gotta feel good to present good, to make good happen to you. Karma, all that other stuff. But I was just thinking, mostly what I was upset about, honestly, I was telling you, was that to think that because at that time I was feeling really stressed, I was having like a lot of autistic symptoms. I'm like pacing, and I'm just ticking, and I'm just a lot of stuff going on. I'm just feeling all this yuck stuff. And I was thinking, this stuff could be used to try to take my kids away from me. And I was like, and that made me angry enough and angry enough to go from right brain, which was woe is me, pity party, literally let's dig ourselves a hole and just live in it, okay, forever, to go, hold on a second, that's not fair. This is just temporary. This is just because I'm just stressed, and I know when I don't handle stress well, and this is what happens when I don't handle stress well. And uh and then I went and I did a video because I just look like shit, and I was like, fuck it, I don't even give a shit. 'Cause normally I would have, because just having people view me used to be a big deal, but at this point now I'm just upset, and the adrenaline's going, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna make a video about what I'm feeling and what I'm experiencing and why this sucks so bad, and and how I fix it, which was getting, because when you get mad, your adrenaline kicks in, and when your adrenaline kicks in, that means that what happens is all of a sudden all your brain power starts going, all your brain stuff. So now you're like working like you're almost like you're a normal human. That's what it does for me. Almost like temporary, like 10 minutes where I like actually everything's working great. And then what I do is during that time, I usually go to my computer and start working on something, whatever it is. I always got a ton of stuff I gotta do. And I'll get distracted, and then I'm left brain now. Now I'm no longer in this emotional state. And all because I made myself angry. That's how I got get myself out of there. And so I shared that today. And I had not ever shared anything personal like that, because I thought people would think it was silly or that was like a dumb idea. But, when you experience stuff like that and you feel awful, you're going to try whatever you can to try to feel better. And that always seemed to make it better for me, was to go, okay, and what always makes me, gets that adrenaline going, is I'll go read like autistic forums in Facebook, the ones where they have to ask questions and they have to say the proper words. And I usually get so fired up from those things, because I get upset that anybody should have to, you're asking a question about a child or whatever, I don't care what name you say, I'm just glad that you're asking. And I usually get so fired up that usually will help me, but it just was, I shared that, and it's like, yeah, well, with every action there is an opposite and equal reaction, and that's physics, and that's life. And there's an action, so I reacted, and I put something up, and I did something out of my comfort zone, and maybe one person will watch it, and one person will go, oh, that's what that is, and they'll feel better, and then life is good, and it is what it is. And try to do that last day, which I should go to bed. I don't know why. It's not like I'm sleeping, but I should try at least. Sadly. It's so cold though in the morning in that camper. I'm like, oh, I don't want to get out of bed. It's freezing. Yikes. And we exploded. Fun, fun, fun. Fun. Oh, life. It never fails to be exciting. That's for sure. I wish they had some closed captioning on here. That might be helpful. Sometimes I miss what they're saying with it, what was just said. Probably can put it on here, and I just don't know how. Oh. Turn, 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 turn. Man. Oh, sixth place. All right. I'm gonna go to bed. Thank you for watching me, and oh my gosh, I'm about ready to fall asleep now. Thank you for being here for me, and as always, I will see you guys later. Adios. Till next time.